Hey everyone, this is Jeff or G-Hose from Axie Infinity, and today we're going to talk a little bit about building with internet monsters. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Axie Infinity, Axie is a battling and collection based creature game. We're actually built on Ethereum. We were inspired by a lot of games such as Pokemon, Tamagotchi, Neopets that we grew up playing. But many of us on the founding team actually also played CryptoKitties, and that's where we kind of saw the potential for non-fungible tokens to really give true digital property rights to gamers. So yeah, right now we have a card battle game out, which is actually an alpha. You can breed your Axies, and yeah, we experimented with an idle battle game in the past. So we really want to, bring as much utility and fun to these digital assets as possible, while also, having the fun, collectible, kind of secondary market that kind of is also enabled by non-fungible tokens and smart contracts. So Axie Infinity is one of the few decentralized applications that's actually proven a real revenue model. So the Axie core team has generated over $1.3 million in revenue through Axie and land sales. What I find even more interesting, though, is that the secondary market volume has actually surpassed the revenue generated by the core team. So there's been over $1.4 million transacted on our secondary market. So that's between players. And we've seen Axies sell for kind of eye-popping numbers. So we have sales as high as 110 ETH, 70, 85 ETH. And that's because of the very vibrant collectors market that's kind of been established around these assets. Some of the, people see them as collectibles or even rare works of art, with some Axies, being quite rare. We've also been very interested in the intersection of decentralized finance, or DeFi, and gaming. So we've partnered up with teams such as Kyber Network and MakerDAO. The Kyber item that you can see to the left was actually given to people who registered and had over 50 Kyber Network crystals in their wallet. So kind of a fun extra perk for owning KNC. And these MakerDAO items were actually distributed to people who had open CDPs. Many of our community members were introduced to the idea of DeFi and CDPs through that event. The gold item that you see was actually distributed to users who had drawn over 15,000 DAI in their address or their wallet. And I believe there are around 18 of those. So some people took it very seriously. And we see games as being a very interesting and potentially important user onboarding layer for DeFi moving forward. We also have seen the introduction of what we're calling play to earn, which is the ability to earn real money by simply playing our game. So our users are able to earn tokens like DAI, Kyber Network crystals, and these tokenized love potions, which are our own creation, and then sell them on Uniswap. So our community actually set up a Uniswap pool for the love potions, which allows them to sell the potions for Ether. So around 10 to 20% of our user base actually interacts with Uniswap on any given day. So yeah, I find it very fascinating how the worlds of DeFi and blockchain gaming are becoming intertwined through our ecosystem. You can see this is actually the leaderboard from within our alpha of our mobile application. And we are actually paying out DAI that's been provided by the Maker Foundation to the top players. So this is a new, really interesting and new model where players are actually able to earn these tokens by playing our game. We have seen people from places like Venezuela, Indonesia, become able to start earning side income or even income that's larger than what they would normally be able to earn working a traditional job in their home countries. So this idea of being able to earn income from anywhere, no matter who you are, for simply playing a fun game, I think is revolutionary. And we believe it's going to be a key narrative or a key meme in driving the adoption, not only of blockchain games, but decentralized applications in general. So one thing that I believe Web3 really fosters is a really strong community. And this happens when users are actually given true stake or true ownership within the network. So what we've seen is that although our community is small when compared to a traditional game, the evangelist activity and what our players are actually doing to drive the adoption of the game is really mind-boggling. So many of our players are making amazing pieces of art. They're building mini games on top of Axie. There are esports teams that are cropping up. Some of these teams are actually, signing sponsorship deals with other projects without any aid from us. They're also beginning to host their own tournaments with prizes as payout. We have a player who even got an Axie tattoo. So the level of excitement and evangelism in our community is really amazing to witness. So today, we're here as part of the Dragon Quest hackathon put on by the MetaCartel. They're doing really amazing stuff. And we actually had 3 bounties live on Bounties Network. 2 of them have already been completed, so we're really excited about that. So those 2 were basically a chart to see how much SLP, or how many small love potions, those potions that I mentioned earlier, were being used to breed Axies. That's very important information for balancing the economy and the drop rate within the application. The second chart shows the number of unique addresses that are actually interacting with our secondary market over time. So what we've seen is that, or what this chart illustrates is that adoption has been increasing over time, but we really have seen a big acceleration since the launch of our mobile application in December. So in the future, we really want to empower our community to kind of drive the development on top of Axie. So we've actually we've started developing a LAN system, which will allow players to host different mini games on land parcels. We're actually building an SDK, which will allow people to integrate different tokens into these mini games as well, and create their own revenue models. So we really do see Axie as a community-driven platform, and we believe that by creating an SDK that will really allow players to take an even more active role in the development of our ecosystem. So that's about it for today. Just want to do a quick introduction to Axie. If you want to learn more, definitely follow us on Twitter. Check out our website. We also have a Discord community, and you can reach out to me on Twitter as well. So thanks, and it was awesome to be here.